Good morning. This will be the prequel to the harmonic biology and anatomy of the body. So this is just to kind of get you into the right mode here. This is going to be a very long series. So if I was going to re-explain the entire human body to you harmonically, do you think that might take a little time? Every organ, what everything actually is. Harmonically. It's also biologically. These interlock. They are the same, just like the Cartesian physics and my physics. They interlock. They are the same. It's the other half. This is called the body as coherent system. Most of us were taught to see the body like a machine. If something breaks, you replace a part. If there's a symptom, you suppress it. If there's weight gain, you eat less and exercise more. But almost nothing we struggle with makes sense under that model. Because the body isn't a machine. It's a self-regulating system that is constantly responding to signals. Once you understand that, it starts to make sense. Let's start with the brain. We're taught the brain is the boss, the control center, the place where you live. But the brain doesn't command the body the way a CEO commands a company. The brain is a predictive engine. Its job is to reduce surprise, to take in sensory information and guess what's about to happen next so the body can respond efficiently. That's why stress overwhelms thinking, because prediction collapses when the environment feels unsafe. You don't think your way into calm, you signal your way into it. That brings us to the heart. Most people think the heart as either a pump or an emotional symbol, but harmonically, the heart is a synchronizer. It sets rhythm for the entire system. Heart rhythm influences breathing, hormones, immune function, even perception. When the heart's rhythm becomes chaotic, the whole body loses timing. This is why calm presence changes environments. It's not emotional, it's rhythmic. Breath works the same way. We think breathing is about oxygen, but oxygen isn't the main controller. Breath sets the stage. Slow, deep breath tells the nervous system there's no emergency. Shallow, rapid breathing signals threat, even if nothing is happening. This is why breath changes mood faster than thought ever could. Blood isn't just fuel delivery. Blood carries state. It distributes hormones, immune information, and timing cues throughout the body. Your blood chemistry changes when you're anxious, not because something is wrong, but because your body is preparing for threat. It's responding logically. Same with the lymphatic system. We're told it's for waste, but lymph is more like slow intelligence. It evaluates what belongs, what doesn't, what needs attention, and what can wait. When the lymphatic system stagnates, the body gets noisy and inflamed, not sick, but overwhelmed. The spine isn't just structural support. It's the main alignment axis between gravity, movement, and the nervous signal. When posture collapses, signal quality collapses with it. This is why chronic pain isn't just a joint issue, it's a communication problem. Bones aren't dead scaffolding. They are store load history. Your skeleton adapts to what you repeatedly ask it to support. Muscles don't just generate strength, they translate intent into action. Every moment is a decision being expressed physically. Fascia is the most misunderstood tissue in the body. It links everything. Force doesn't move muscle to bone, it moves through fascia first. This is why restriction spreads and why releasing one area can change another. Now the senses. Eyes don't just see, they anticipate. They scan contrast, motion, and depth to predict safety. Ears don't just hear sound. They detect orientation, balance, emotional tone. That's why the tone of voice matters more than words. You ever wondered why your ear is the shape of a golden ratio? Skin isn't just a barrier. It's where self meets world. Touch regulates the nervous system because it confirms boundaries. The mouth and tongue are intake gates. I can't wait to tell you about the mouth and tongue. They don't just consume food, they test compatibility. Taste evolved to answer one question: should this become me? The throat regulates expression. It decides what leaves the body as sound. This is why truth suppressed becomes tension. The gut is not just digestive. It's an assimilation processor. It decides what becomes part of you and what doesn't. That's why stress wrecks digestion, because integration stops when safety disappears. The liver isn't just detox. It's arbitration. It decides where resources go. Chronic overload overwhelms it, not because of toxins alone, but because the system is constantly asked to compensate. The pancreas controls energy timing. The kidneys regulate fluid charge and long-term endurance. The adrenals provide emergency power, but emergency power isn't meant to run the grid full time. Now let's talk about metabolism and weight, because this is where most people get misled. We're told that weight is diet and exercise. That's the third in the order. Weight is signal outcome. The body stores mass when it doesn't feel safe. Safety is biological. Sleep, consistency, nutrition, reduced stress, predictable rhythms. If the nervous system believes resources are unstable, it stores. Not because it's broken, because it's adaptive. Fix the signals and weight follows. Fight the signals and the body fights back. Here's the through line. Every system in the body is responding intelligently to conditions. Symptoms are not enemies, they're messages. Our mistake has been treating outputs instead of inputs, suppressing responses instead of changing signals. When you understand the body harmonically, healing becomes cooperation instead of force. So the body isn't asking to be fixed, it's asking to be understood. And when you understand it, it reorganizes itself, because that's what coherent systems do. We don't suffer because our bodies are flawed. We suffer because we've misunderstood what they're responding to. And I'll stop there, because this thing is going to go massive, but I just kind of want to give you an idea. And as I go through this, I want you to recognize that I told you that 90% of our current understanding of knowledge is incorrect. And when you see the length of how far I have to go to explain all this to you, and then I want you to apply that to all other subjects, that's what the Magnus is. And you are going to see and hear things. You're going to see that this is going to open up hundreds, if not thousands, of new sciences. And this is just the start. I'm excited about it. I might literally give the whole new world to you, and then your choice to do what you want with it. One other thing I wanted to tell you. So when my sister was in the Peace Corps, she went to Paraguay for like 5 years. And she lived with a tribe of Indians, if you will, in Paraguay. You had to machete like 9 hours through a jungle after a bus drove you like 4 or 5 hours with guys with machine guns on the bus, just to get out, and then machete 9 hours to get to where they were. Anyways, when she was there, the village there spoke Click. And so when she visited home one time, and when she came home, she told me, she said, "Josh, I now dream in Click." So she wasn't dreaming in Spanish, which she is fluent in, or Portuguese, or English, obviously her native language. She was dreaming in Click. So she was dreaming in, that's how they talk. And so that's how she was dreaming. When you start to become or come into full coherence, in the same way, your dreams will stop being like storylines and different things like that, and they become geometry. So for like the last week, every night when I dream geometry. Like I'm flowing through not just the torus, but all types of geometry. And then when I wake up, it's like I'm processing all these things in my dreams or something. And then when I wake up, I'm literally dreaming in geometry now. And that is time space, right? I am dreaming in time space now. But you will start doing that too. Everybody in the world will. But I thought that was neat, and that was something that I noticed this week. So anyways, we'll start the big series probably tonight. Hope you have a great day. Namaste.